How's it going guys, Kris here with another guide for Battlefield 5, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the good old Lewis gun, a support class LMG that you'll be able to unlock at support rank 10. Despite being a pretty old weapon from the early 1900s, it was one that had a fairly long service life, seeing action in many different conflicts over the years in the hands of many different armies. One of those main armies though would be the British, being a gun manufactured in the UK and used extensively by their forces during World War I. Although mainly produced in Britain, the gun was actually designed by an American in 1911, by the name of Isaac Newton Lewis. He originally planned to sell his design to the US military, but they just weren't interested, rejecting Lewis's new gun, which frustrated him and forced him to leave the States and move over to Europe. This all happened just before the onset of the First World War. Not bad timing at all for Isaac Newton Lewis. He would have really benefited from the increased demand for his new portable light machine gun. And as the war rolled on, the Lewis gun would become more and more popular, available in substantial numbers and used for a variety of different purposes, from being fitted to planes and vehicles, to being a defensive supportive weapon for infantry. Many years later, although replaced by newer weapon advancements such as the Bren, the Lewis gun was still in circulation by the time World War II kicked off, and down to the shortage of small arms at the time, it was once again pushed into frontline service, making it a really important weapon for the Allied forces overall. So with a maximum damage value of 25 up to the range of 10 meters, which drops down over distance from here to as low as 15 at 75 meters and beyond, I guess you could say that the Lewis gun shares its damage profile with most of the other LMGs, not really doing anything out of the ordinary for bullet damage. This is going to allow it to kill in just 4 shots up to 10 meters, but up to 7 shots against players further than the 50 meter mark, with kill times being at their quickest within those earlier ranges. That doesn't mean that those kill times are particularly fast in comparison to other weapons though, because with the Lewis gun firing at the steady rate of 539 RPM, it's not quite as competitive as a lot of the others on offer, including some of the faster firing support weapons and the close range SMGs and shotguns, better optimised for close quarter combat, which the Lewis gun might often struggle to go up against face to face. 539 RPM is a pretty mediocre speed overall, therefore giving the gun some relatively mediocre kill times in shorter sightlines, though it's still definitely fast enough to knock players down unaware of your position, and those who are slower to the trigger than you, with the Lewis gun's fire rate being set just slightly higher than the Bren's, but slightly lower than the KE7's, a steady pace for it to shoot at, but nothing all that special overall. But something that should help to decrease those kill times a bit by ensuring more shots are going to land on target is the Lewis gun's generally controllable recoil, allowing it to sustain fire for longer durations without losing stability as much as some of the other LMGs. The Lewis gun isn't exactly the most accurate thing in the world, having horizontal figures of 0.25, which is actually sort of in the middle of the pack regarding precision, possibly meaning that some of your shots are likely to stray off target over longer distances, though at least these values are equal for both left and right directions, balancing the recoil better, stopping it from drifting to a specific side, which can sometimes make guns trickier to control. Its vertical kick however is definitely more favourable, with a 0.61 upwards value along with an increase of just 0.03, basically making the Lewis gun more stable than a lot of the other LMGs when you're holding down the trigger and firing in longer bursts. The fact that it's also got a bipod fitted as a bonus attachment is also something that's going to boost accuracy and benefit its use from defensive positions, and with the gun also having access to quite a lot of specializations to increase your overall precision too, such as the recoil buffer, ported barrel, high velocity bullets, and the improved bipod, well these are all things that are going to further enhance that accuracy, making it even better suited for gunning down players further away, speeding up kill times due to more bullets going where they should be. Probably one of the best aspects of the Lewis gun is its ability to sustain fire with those chunky pan magazines, having the most ammo of all the light machine guns. Its base magazine holds 47 rounds, which is ample for doing what the gun needs to do most of the time, letting it take on several enemies one after the other without ever really leaving you short on bullets in the middle of a gunfight. Its ammo reserves are even easier to regulate down to the gun's steady fire rate, and although a few shots might sometimes stray off target due to that moderate horizontal recoil, at least you'll be able to keep your bullets whizzing by while keeping your target suppressed, making missed shots a little less problematic than with other LMGs. Though if 47 rounds isn't quite enough for you, you could always slap those 97 round extended magazines onto the gun, allowing you to keep on going and take on even more enemies before you'll need to reload. even giving a lot of the MMGs a run for their money, with those extended mags holding even more shots. Reload speeds aren't particularly snappy, but still not bad at all in the grand scheme of things considering you're getting so many rounds per mag, having some fairly similar times to the Type 97, while also holding a lot more ammo than that gun too. As far as the specializations go, at the very top we've got quick aim on the left, speeding up ADS time, and high velocity bullets on the right, boosting the muzzle velocity to 840 meters per second. With the Lewis gun being more of a defensive weapon better suited against players beyond close range, I'd probably opt for high velocity bullets, just to make those bullets travel a bit faster over distance, slightly helping with the gun's ranged accuracy. In the middle of the tree, we've got slings and swivels combined with extended mags on the left side, giving you those huge 97 round magazines, while also giving you quicker deploy speeds too. Though on the right side, the ported barrel and barrel bedding options, lowering some of the Lewis gun's horizontal recoil while generally making it more precise. Because those standard 47 round mags are usually fine enough as they are, and down to the Lewis gun's horizontal recoil often prone to causing some shots to miss, the right side is probably going to play to the weapon's strengths a little bit better, helping to cut down kill times over its optimal range by allowing more bullets to land on target. So this is the side I'd personally recommend to optimise range performance. And last of all, we've got the recoil buffer on the left, lowering vertical kick, thus making it even more stable with sustained fire, though on the right, the improved bipod, further lowering spread when the bipod's in use and making its fire even more accurate. Out of these two, I tend to prefer the recoil buffer, which is the less situational specialisation, with the normal bipod already seeming effective enough as it is. So in conclusion, the Lewis gun is a weapon that kind of bridges the gap between the two support machine gun categories, having a lot of suppressive power like an MMG, whilst having the same ability and characteristics of a typical LMG. Down to its beefy magazine sizes, steady fire rate and controllable kick, this allows the gun to sustain fire over longer durations and excel over medium ranges, being able to take on multiple enemies one after the other. It's not exactly a powerhouse, and it's not really designed for rushing too far up to the front, having kill times in close quarters that are generally going to put you at a disadvantage due to the gun's average fire rate and damage profile, making it more suited for defensive tactics and playing slightly further back, away from imminent danger. With that said, flank the enemy position and take a squad by surprise, and you'll usually have more than enough shots to take them all on, being able to keep the trigger held down while letting the bullets whiz by, without really having to worry too much about ammo wastage, as you fire away, keeping your target suppressed. It might not be the most accurate thing in the world, but the Lewis gun does at least offer you a free bipod, along with specializations to boost its range performance, enforcing its role as a defensive weapon, best used beyond those earlier distances where your enemies are less likely to get the drop on you. It's definitely not the most aggressive LMG in the game, but it is one of the more reliable and well-rounded ones. So that's all I've got for you this time guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and that'll be greatly appreciated, and subscribe for more Battlefield guides and other content right here on my channel. Take it easy, and I'll be seeing you in that next one.